Okay, so all of you please concentrate here. In the morning session, we discussed that center tap full wave rectifier circuit. Am I right? Now try to read it. In the center tap full wave rectifier circuit, a center tap transformer and a two PN junction diodes are used. We say that diode D1 and diode D2. Okay, so how actually the circuit it works? During the positive half cycle of an input voltage, diode D1 acts in a forward bias, and during the negative half cycle of an input voltage, the diode it acts in a diode D2 acts in a forward bias. So due to this, I say that for every positive half cycle, the diode D1 it works and we get that output. Here I say that diode D1, and for every negative half cycle, diode D2 it works here. So this is the due to diode D1, this is the due to diode D2 is that. So if you try to see that the current flowing through this RL in every half cycle, positive as well as negative, the current flowing through that RL is in a same direction, so that the voltage developed across that RL is in a unidirectional. That's why we get such types of output here. Is it right? And now, if you see the output of this center tap full wave rectifier circuit, can you say that this is a pure DC signal? If we have that the pure DC signal, then you must have the waveform should be like this. But if you observe this diagram, you can easily say that this is not a pure DC signal, and this signal we call it's a pulsed DC signal. What we call? It's a pulsed DC. Means what? The output of center tap full wave rectifier circuit is also consist of a AC component as well as the DC component. Then what is the frequency of that AC components present in that output? So frequency, as if you see that output waveform and that input waveform, so definitely in the morning session we discussed that the frequency is double of that input frequency is there. Is it right? And the PIV rating of center tap full wave rectifier circuit, which is nothing but twice VM. So these are the two important things it may ask for MCQ type of question here. Is it right? So it's my request to you all, please take the screenshot of this slide so that you will get these two MCQ, the output frequency of a center tap full wave rectifier circuit and the PIV rating of a center tap full wave rectifier circuit is there. Is it okay? Please take a screenshot of it. If you have that any doubt related to the center tap full wave rectifier circuit, so you can raise that doubt. Otherwise, I will proceed further for the next type of a rectifier circuit. Have you taken the screenshot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, next type of a rectifier circuit. Now, all of you please have full attention here to understand the next type, which is nothing but bridge rectifier circuit. Bridge rectifier circuit. And this is the type of a full wave rectifier circuit. Okay. But let me clear that what are the drawback of a center tap full wave rectifier circuit. So the first drawback of a center tap rectifier circuit is a center tap transformer is required. And it's a little bit complex circuit it get here. Because in the center tap transformer, there are total 3 terminals at the secondary side. This is the first drawback. And the second drawback is the PIV rating of center tap full wave rectifier circuit is a twice VM. Is it right? Give me 1 minute. Okay. So now we will see that how the bridge rectifier circuit it actually works. Okay. And now in the bridge rectifier circuit, we will try to discuss that the circuit diagram, its working and the waveform. Now for the bridge rectifier circuit, the center tap transformer is not required. This is the first and important thing related to this bridge rectifier circuit. And as I say that the center tap transformer is not required, it means that the normal, or I say that ordinary transformer is required for the bridge rectifier circuit. It means that ordinary transformer having its two terminal at the secondary side of the transformer here. Now here I say that this is the primary winding which is connected to AC supply. Okay, this one is the secondary winding, and now the point A and B are acts as a two end terminal of the secondary winding, and the voltage developed in these 2 points, that voltage we call its input voltage for the rectifier circuit, because as you know that the output of a transformer is the input to the rectifier circuit is there. Now if I want to draw the waveform for the input voltage, where you check that input voltage for the rectifier circuit at the secondary side of the transformer, and if you want to draw this input waveform, so this input waveform is measured in between the point A and B, which is at secondary side. And as I say that the transformer is a static device which transfer the energy from one point to another point, so that output of the transformer or the voltage in between the point A and B, it's a AC voltage, and it can be represented with the sine waveform in this way. Is it right? So I say that it's a pi, it's a 2 pi radian, this one is 3 pi radian, and this is a 4 pi radian. And now let's see that the bridge rectifier circuit. Now this is the first component, we call it a transformer, and now the rectifier circuit it comes. Now as you know that in a half wave rectifier circuit, a 1 PN junction diode is used. Now in a center tap full wave rectifier circuit, 2 PN junction diodes are used, and now in a bridge rectifier circuit, 4 PN junction diodes are used. And I think you might be familiar about the Wheatstone meter bridge. It means that the 4 diodes are connected to each side of a Wheatstone meter bridge. And now how the Wheatstone meter bridge, it can be denoted in this way. Is it right? So this is just like a bridge. And now let me consider that my first PN junction diode, which is connected to this side in this way. Now all of you please have a concentrate how to draw the diagram. This is very important. This is, I say that this is my first diode. Now in front side of this bridge is also with the same way we need to connect the PN junction diode is there with the same way, I say that. Now if you see this point and this point, let me consider that this is also the point A and this is also the point B. Now to this A point, the P region of this diode is connected. So while connecting the diode to this side, you need to connect that N region of that diode. म्हणजे काय होईल बघा, A पॉइंटला एका साइडच्या डायोडचा P रिजन कनेक्ट केलेला आहे, तर दुसऱ्या साइडच्या डायोडचा N रिजन कनेक्ट केलेला आहे. अशा प्रकारे अरेंजमेंट यायला पाहिजे. And now the front side of this side is also with the same type of a diode is there. So in this way, the 4 PN junction diodes are connected. Let me consider that this is a D1, this is a D2, this one is a D3, this one is a D4. And now the two corners, front corners, now this A point is going to be connected to point A, and this B point is connected to the point B. The front corners are connected to the two terminals of the secondary winding, and the next front corners, in between the front corners, the load resistors RL is connected, where we always measure the output voltage. This is the circuit diagram of a Wheatstone meter bridge. Is it that clear? And now we will see that what type of output voltage we get it due to this Wheatstone meter bridge. And this output voltage, you know that we always measure across the load resistors area. Is it right? And then let me try to explain how this circuit it works in the two parts. The first part is how the circuit it works for positive half cycle, every positive half cycle, and how the circuit it works for every negative half cycle is there. Get it my point? Now before that, please see the circuit diagram. Is it right? Now let's we try to consider that for positive half cycle. Now for positive half cycle, we know that point A acts as a positive terminal and point B acts as a negative terminal for every positive half cycle. So that when the point A acts as a positive terminal, so this point is a positive. आता चेक करा की हा पॉझिटिव्ह पॉइंट कशा कशाला कनेक्ट केलाय. हा पॉझिटिव्ह टर्मिनल डायोड D1 च्या P रिजनला कनेक्ट केलाय आणि डायोड D4 च्या N रिजनला कनेक्ट केलाय. सो मे आय से हियर द डायोड D4 acts in a reverse bias आणि तो मी त्याच्या अराउंड सर्कल करतो बघा. दॅट इज नथिंग बट इट acts in a reverse bias. सिमिलरली जर बी पॉइंट बघितला तुम्ही, बी पॉइंट इट ऍक्ट्स ॲज अ निगेटिव्ह टर्मिनल, म्हणजे हा निगेटिव्ह टर्मिनल आहे. आता तो कसा कनेक्ट केलाय बघा, डायोड D3 च्या निगेटिव्हला कनेक्ट केलाय, परंतु डायोड D2 च्या पॉझिटिव्हला कनेक्ट केलाय. मग निगेटिव्ह पॉइंट जर डायोडच्या पॉझिटिव्हला किंवा पी रिजनला कनेक्ट केलाय, म्हणजे मी इथं म्हणतो की डायोड D2 ऍक्ट्स इन अ रिव्हर्स बायस. इट मीन्स दॅट during that every positive half cycle, diode D1 and diode D3 acts in a forward bias. Is it right? And now the direction of a current flow in a positive half cycle is from point A, it comes to this point. आता या पॉइंट मध्ये करंट आल्यानंतर is the current it flow through the diode D4? No, because it acts like open switch, because it is acts in a reverse bias. So the entire current will flow through the diode D1. आता करंट इथं आला, इथं आल्यानंतर तो डायोड D2 चा पाथ घेईल का? नाही. So definitely the current will take the path, and based on that RL will get its value, the polarity, and because of that the output voltage is generated. Now the current it comes to this point, definitely it will not take the path of a diode D4, it will take the path of a diode D3, and then it will return to the negative terminal. So this is the direction of a current flowing in every positive half cycle. And if I try to draw the waveform for positive half cycle due to the diode D1 and D3, you will get the waveform same like a positive half cycle of input waveform, but this is because of D1 and D3. Get it my point? And now if you see that what happened for every negative half cycle, now for negative half cycle the polarities get reversed. Now point A acts as a negative terminal and point B acts as a positive terminal. मग आता बघा कोणते डायोड फॉरवर्ड बायस मध्ये आणि कोणते डायोड रिव्हर्स बायस मध्ये होतात. जर बी हा पॉझिटिव्ह टर्मिनल म्हणून ऍक्ट होत असेल तर हा पॉझिटिव्ह टर्मिनल झाला, म्हणजे बी पॉझिटिव्ह टर्मिनल डायोड D2 च्या पी रिजनला, म्हणजे आता डायोड D2 फॉरवर्ड झाला, परंतु तोच टर्मिनल डायोड D3 च्या एन रिजनला. सो आय से दॅट डायोड D3 acts in a reverse bias. आता ए पॉइंट निगेटिव्ह आहे, म्हणजे हा पॉइंट निगेटिव्ह आहे, तो कुठं कनेक्ट केलाय? D4 च्या निगेटिव्हला आणि D1 च्या पॉझिटिव्हला, म्हणजे डायोड D1 हा इथं काय झाला? रिव्हर्स बायस मध्ये झाला. मग आपला करंट कसा फ्लो होणार? द करंट ऑलवेज स्टार्ट्स इट्स जर्नी फ्रॉम पॉझिटिव्ह टर्मिनल, इट मीन्स दॅट पॉइंट बी. When current it comes to this point, definitely it will not flow through the, it will not take the path of a diode D3. Entire current will take the path of a diode D2. When current it comes at this point, then definitely current will flow through the RL and RL will get its polarity. When the current it comes to here, then it will take the path of a diode D4 and it will return to the negative terminal. In this way the current it can flow through the circuit during every negative half cycle. But if you observe that very important thing, during positive half cycle as well as during negative half cycle, the polarity of RL is not changed. आणि पोलॅरिटी चेंज झाली नाही म्हणजे काय हो, की या RL मधून एकाच डायरेक्शन मध्ये करंट फ्लो होतो, मग तो पॉझिटिव्ह हाफ सायकल असेल किंवा निगेटिव्ह हाफ सायकल असेल. मग जर RL मधून एकाच डायरेक्शन मधून जर करंट फ्लो झाला तर त्याच्या अक्रॉस डेव्हलप होणारं व्होल्टेज हे एकाच डायरेक्शनला असेल. दॅट्स वाय वी से दॅट output voltage developed across that RL is a unidirectional. It means that during that negative half cycle also, for every negative half cycle also, you will get the curve in a positive direction. Is it right? And this curve is due to the diode D2 and the diode D4. मग पुन्हा एकदा पॉझिटिव्ह हाफ सायकल स्टार्ट झाली. पॉझिटिव्ह हाफ सायकल स्टार्ट झाली की डेफिनेटली डायोड D1 and diode D3 works in a forward bias, so that you will get that output due to the diode D1 and D3, and for every negative half cycle you will get that output due to the diode D2 and D4 is there. So this is the output waveform of bridge rectifier circuit. मग आता ही जर आउटपुट वेवफॉर्म तुम्ही कंपेअर केली सेंटर टॅप फुल वेव्ह रेक्टिफायर बरोबर, ही जर आउटपुट वेवफॉर्म तुम्ही कंपेअर केली सेंटर टॅप फुल वेव्ह रेक्टिफायर बरोबर, then you can easily say that the output waveform of a bridge rectifier circuit is the same as a output waveform of a bridge or the center tap full wave rectifier circuit. म्हणजे सेंटर टॅप फुल वेव्ह रेक्टिफायर सर्किट आणि ब्रिज रेक्टिफायर सर्किटची आउटपुट वेवफॉर्म काय आहे, सेम आहे. मग आउटपुट वेवफॉर्म सेम असेल, सो मे आय से दॅट द टू रिलेशन्स and that two relations are nothing but F out, output frequency of a bridge rectifier circuit is double the input frequency. This is the first point. And the second point is that what is the PIV rating? This is very important thing is that. But as you know that the difference between the center tap and the bridge rectifier circuit, in the center tap transformer, center tap rectifier circuit, center tap transformer is required. That's why PIV rating is twice VM. But in the bridge rectifier circuit, center tap transformer is not required. So the PIV rating of bridge rectifier circuit is a VM. This is the major difference between the center tap full wave rectifier circuit and the bridge rectifier circuit is that. Is this point is clear? Now you can see that the animation here. Okay. And now let's we have the comparison between half wave rectifier circuit, center tap full wave rectifier circuit, and the bridge rectifier circuit is there. And this is the comparison is there. And let's we try to discuss one by one. So all of you please have a concentration, and based on that comparison, we will decide that which rectifier circuit is most popular, most effective, and most widely used. See that the first parameter is number of diodes used. As you know that in a half wave rectifier circuit, 1 center tap full wave rectifier circuit, 2, and in the bridge rectifier circuit, 4 PN junction diode is used. Number 2 thing is that need of a center tap transformer. म्हणजे center tap transformer कोणत्या rectifier circuit ला लागतोय? हाफ वेव्ह ला लागतोय का? नो. सेंटर टॅब ला yes. Bridge rectifier circuit ला no. Then PIV rating. Half wave rectifier circuit normal transformer is used, that's why PIV rating is VM. Center tap full wave rectifier circuit, center tap transformer is required, 2 cycles are generated, so that PIV rating is twice VM. And for bridge rectifier circuit, it becomes VM is there. Get it my point? And now one more point I want to add it here. And which point I can add? See that I don't have the space here, but I can add it here. Output frequency. Output frequency. Is it right? For half wave rectifier circuit, center tap full wave rectifier circuit, and bridge rectifier circuit. So the output frequency of half wave rectifier circuit is same as the input frequency. Output frequency of center tap full wave rectifier circuit is double the input frequency, and output frequency of a bridge rectifier circuit is also double the input frequency is that. Is it right? So all of you, please take a screenshot of it. Take it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then आता हे जे काही पॅरामीटर्स आहेत बघा, VDC, IDC, VRMS, IRMS, रेक्टिफिकेशन इफिशियन्सी, रिपल फॅक्टर अँड ट्रान्सफॉर्मर युटिलायझेशन फॅक्टर. किती पॅरामीटर झाले बघा, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. तर या 7 पॅरामीटर साठी टोटल सेपरेट 7 डेरिव्हेशन्स आहेत, परंतु ते तुम्हाला सिलेबसला नाहीये. पण या व्हॅल्यू मात्र तुम्हाला लक्षात ठेवायच्या आहेत ऍज your exam is online exam, and we are not going to discuss that all these 7 derivation. It will take a lot of time to derive these things, but you can try to remember this chart anyhow. You can do it, but if you have to concentrate towards the rectification efficiency. Now see that for half wave rectifier circuit, the rectification efficiency means what? If you give the 100% AC signal as an input to the rectifier circuit, how much AC signal is converted into pure DC? मग जर तुम्ही हाफ वेव्ह रेक्टिफायरला 100% AC सिग्नल दिला तर किती टक्के त्याचं कन्व्हर्जन DC मध्ये होत आहे? 40.6%. मग जर तुम्ही सेंटर टॅप आणि ब्रिज रेक्टिफायर सर्किट जर बघितलं तर ब्रिज रेक्टिफायर सर्किटची आणि सेंटर टॅप फुल वेव्ह रेक्टिफायर सर्किटची रेक्टिफिकेशन इफिशियन्सी आहे ती 81.2%. म्हणजे पहिल्यांदा ही गोष्ट लक्षात आली की सेंटर टॅप आणि ब्रिज रेक्टिफायर सर्किट हे मोस्ट इफेक्टिव्ह आहे, कारण त्यांची रेक्टिफिकेशन इफिशियन्सी जास्त आहे, डबल आहे ऍक्च्युअली. इट्स अ डबल ऑफ हाफ वेव्ह रेक्टिफायर सर्किट. गेट इट माय पॉइंट? नाउ आउट ऑफ these two, which one is a familiar or which one is most popular? So for that you just observe these 2 points. Number 1, the center tap transformer is not required for bridge rectifier circuit. This is the one advantage of bridge rectifier circuit, and the PIV rating is VM. As due to these 2 advantage of bridge rectifier circuit, the most popular rectifier circuit in the electronics field, which is nothing but the bridge rectifier circuit, is there. And sometimes maybe that one MCQ it may also created like that. Out of these 3 rectifier circuit, which one rectifier circuit is most widely used? So you must know that that answer is the bridge rectifier circuit is that. Is this point is clear? So all of you please take a screenshot of it and always keep this table in front of you so that you can easily solve the MCQ based on it. If you try to see that, the total 11 MCQs or that 11 comparative points I have mentioned, I have put it in front of you. So 11 multiplied by 3 means 33 MCQs can be prepared based on this one table is there. Give me one. Okay, so all of you please take a screenshot of it. Take it.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. आता काही जणांना असं वाटेल की बाबा हे डेरिव्हेशन, याचे डेरिव्हेशन नेमके काय आहेत, मग ह्या व्हॅल्यूज कशा येत आहेत, तर त्यांच्यासाठी मी या डेरिव्हेशनची एक सेपरेट PDF फाईल तयार करून तुम्हाला टीचिंग डायरी मध्ये शेअर करेल. यू कॅन गो थ्रू इट इफ यू हॅव द टाइम अँड इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन द डेरिव्हेशन. So definitely I will provide a one separate sheet which contains all these derivations. Otherwise, if you try to search in a Google the derivation for the half wave rectifier, center tap and bridge rectifier, everything you will get it. But then also it's my duty, I will provide the separate sheet. But let me clear that this derivation part will never be asked in the university exam. You need to remember the final value is that. That's why I just keep these things here. And as we have that very short time, and within that short time we have to finish the topic, that's why I will not take the derivation part in this part here. Okay, so this is about the second block. We call it rectifier block is there. And now If you've gone through that all these three rectifier circuit, you will observe that the one common drawback of all rectifier circuit. Can anyone pick up that drawback? What is the drawback of all type of rectifier circuit? I will give it. How you define that the rectifier circuit? In the definition, you say that the rectifier circuit is the circuit which converts AC signal into DC signal. But can any rectifier circuit, it will convert that AC signal into pure form of a DC signal? Absolutely no. It means that the output of all type of a rectifier circuit is a pulsed DC. It means that you will not get the pure DC signal. And this is the common drawback of all rectifier circuit. And that's why we need to learn the further part of a circuit to get the pure DC signal. And that further block, third block, if you remember that the block diagram, the third block is the filter circuit. Get it my point? And now see that what is the function, basic requirement of a filter circuit. Let me try to read it here. So if you try to remember that the output of rectifier circuit is given to the filter circuit is there. Now what is the need of a filter circuit? Try to understand it. If you check it, the output of half wave rectifier circuit output, which types of output you may have or you have in that half wave rectifier circuit? For positive half cycle, that output; for negative, no output. Again, for positive half cycle, it's output. Such types of output you have in the half wave rectifier circuit. What is the output of center tap full wave rectifier circuit? If you see that output of center tap full wave rectifier circuit, you can observe that during that positive cycle also you have that output, and during that negative half cycle also you have that output. This is the output of center tap full wave rectifier circuit. And if you see that output of a bridge rectifier circuit, then also you can observe that output of a bridge rectifier circuit is the same as the center tap full wave rectifier circuit. It means that during that positive as well as during that negative half cycle, you have that output is there. And if you see that output of all these three types of a rectifier circuit, you never say that this output is a pure DC signal, but you can say that this is the pulsed DC output. Is it right? And the pulsed DC output, it means that the output of rectifier circuit, it contains AC component as well as the DC component is there. Is it right? And now, as we know that what we expect from all type of a rectifier circuit, what is our expectation from all type of a rectifier circuit? The output should be pure DC, and for that the filter circuit is required. Now what is the basic function of the filter circuit? Suppose I say that this box is nothing but the filter circuit. This box is nothing but the filter circuit, and the input to this box means what? Input to the box is the output of a rectifier circuit. Let me consider that output of a full wave rectifier circuit. Is it right? And what we expect out as an output from this filter circuit? It's one pure DC signal. I say that pure DC signal, and this is pulsed DC signal. So this is the expectation from filter circuit, and this is the working of the filter circuit is there. It means that as the output of rectifier circuit, it contains AC as well as DC component. So we don't want that AC component. So these are, I say that, unwanted components. आपल्याला नको आहे ते component, and these unwanted AC components are called as a ripple. This is the technical word. What we call, it's a ripple. It means that I can make a sentence here output of rectifier circuit, it consists of a ripple. That's why the ripple factor, one of the factor is also given in the comparison is there. You can check it. Get it my point? Actually, we expect that only DC component, and the circuit, filter circuit is doing this job. Filter circuit will give the bypass path for that AC and only allow the DC to flow through that RL. आता तुम्ही प्रत्येक रेक्टिफायर सर्किट मध्ये एक कॉमन पॉइंट जर ऑब्झर्व केला तर तो कोणता कॉमन पॉइंट आहे? मग हा सपोज मी असा म्हणतो की हा एक बॉक्स आहे माझा आणि हा बॉक्स म्हणजे काय? रेक्टिफायर सर्किट आहे, बरोबर आहे. मग तो हाफ वेव्ह रेक्टिफायर सर्किट असेल, मग तो सेंटर टॅप फुल वेव्ह रेक्टिफायर सर्किट असेल, मग तो ब्रिज, कोणताही टाइपचं रेक्टिफायर सर्किट असू द्या. इफ यू ऑब्झर्व दॅट इन एव्हरी रेक्टिफायर सर्किट one load resistor is present where you check that output voltage, बरोबर आहे. And now I say that the basic thing is that ज्या वेळेस या रेक्टिफायर सर्किट मधून AC प्लस DC कंपोनेंट ऑफ अ करंट, AC प्लस DC करंट फ्लो झाला तर त्या RL च्या अक्रॉस जनरेट होणार, डेव्हलप होणार व्होल्टेज सुद्धा काय करणार आहे? AC प्लस DC असणार. पण आता इमॅजिन करा की जर या RL मधून फक्त DCच कंपोनेंट फ्लो झाले तर या RL च्या अक्रॉस जनरेट होणार व्होल्टेज कसं असेल? इट्स अ प्युअर DC. It means that the filter circuit will create the one bypass path, so that AC component will take this bypass path and only DC component will flow or will allowed to flow through that RL, so that we will get the pure DC voltage across this load RL, and this is the requirement of a filter circuit is that. Then how it is possible? आता प्रश्न असा पडतो की how it is possible that AC components are bypassed and the DC components are allowed to flow through that RL, and for that we need to learn capacitor filter circuit. Capacitor filter circuit. And now try to understand the capacitor having a two parallel plates which are separated by a dielectric medium, and it has its capacitance. We can denote it with C. Its a unit is farad. Okay, we can simply denote it with F. Now these two plates of a capacitor acts as a positive and a negative terminal in the circuit, and these two plates are separated by a dielectric medium, and this medium will store the electric energy in the form of electrostatic field. So the function of a capacitor is to store the energy in the form of electrostatic field, and as and when required return that energy to the load resistors RL. So that I think in the previous topic we discussed that the average power consumed by the capacitor is always 0. म्हणजे कॅपॅसिटरचा वर्क काय आहे की हे काय करणार? एनर्जी घेणार, स्टोअर करणार आणि ज्या वेळेस पाहिजे त्यावेळेस ती एनर्जी रिटर्न करणार. गेट इट माय पॉइंट? सो नाउ सी दॅट हाऊ ऍक्च्युअली द कॅपॅसिटर फिल्टर सर्किट इट वर्क्स. लेट मी ट्राय टू रिमूव्ह दिस थिंग्स. Now we have to discuss that how the capacitor filter circuit it works. Capacitor filter circuit. Now consider that this is the rectifier circuit. Okay, and this one is load resistor RL, where we always measure the output voltage. As you know that output of rectifier circuit, it consists of AC plus DC component. And what is our expectation? Only DC component should flow through that RL. मग त्यावेळेस आपला पर्पज सर्व होणार आहे. So we will get the output voltage as a pure DC voltage is there. But how it is possible? So we have to do with the help of capacitor filter circuit. And now let me give that when one proper value of a capacitor, when it is connected in parallel to that load resistors RL, our purpose is served. Our purpose is served. Means what? It means that when that AC plus DC component, when it comes at this point, only AC components will take a path of a capacitor and it will close their closed loop, and the DC component is allowed to flow through that RL. म्हणजे फक्त एक सिंपल गोष्ट जर आपण केली, आणि ती कोणती गोष्ट? एक प्रॉपर व्हॅल्यू ऑफ अ कॅपॅसिटर इफ इट इज कनेक्टेड पॅरलल टू दॅट RL, तर AC कंपोनंट कॅपॅसिटर थ्रू बायपास होणार आहेत आणि फक्त DC कंपोनंट या RL मधून फ्लो होणार आहेत आणि आपला पर्पज सर्व होणार आहे. मग आता तुमच्या मनामध्ये असा प्रश्न येऊ शकतो की असं कसं काय म्हणतायत सर की फक्त एसीच कंपोनंट कॅपॅसिटर मधून फ्लो होणार, मग डीसी कंपोनंट का कॅपॅसिटर मधून फ्लो होणार नाहीत, किंवा एसी कंपोनंट RL मधून का फ्लो होणार नाहीत? हे दोन प्रश्न येऊ शकतात. पहिला प्रश्न काय की कॅपॅसिटर मधून डीसी कंपोनंट किंवा डीसी करंट का फ्लो होणार नाही, हा पहिला प्रश्न. आणि दुसरा प्रश्न काय की RL मधून AC करंट का फ्लो होणार नाही? कारण मी काय म्हणतो इथं की जर कॅपॅसिटर हा पॅरलल मध्ये कनेक्ट केला तर AC कंपोनंट कॅपॅसिटर मधून बायपास होणार आणि डीसी कंपोनंट RL मधून फ्लो होणार. मग असं का होणार नाही हे मनामध्ये तुमच्या प्रश्न येऊ शकतो, बरोबर आहे? मग त्याच्यासाठी ऑलरेडी याची थिअरी आपण प्रिव्हियस टॉपिक मध्ये डिस्कस केली. ती कोणती थिअरी आहे? ऍज यू नो दॅट कॅपॅसिटर ऑफर्स opposition to the current, and that opposition we call it's XC, which is equal to 1/2 pi FC. This is the formula for that XC, capacitive reactance, I say that. मग आता मला सांगा, फॉर DC करंट फ्रिक्वेन्सी असते का? फ्रिक्वेन्सी 0 झाली. मग रिएक्टन्स काय झाला? 1/0 झाला, which is nothing but infinity. म्हणजे डीसी करंटला कॅपॅसिटरचा पाथ इन्फायनाइट अपोजिशन ऑफर करतोय, मग डीसी करंट त्यातून फ्लो होईल का?
नो,
ऍब्सोल्युटली नो. हा झाला पहिल्या प्रश्नाचं उत्तर तुमच्या. कॅपॅसिटर मधून डीसी करंट का फ्लो होणार नाही, तुम्हाला आन्सर मिळालं.